So they picked up your information from somewhere, even if it's inaccurate.
Yeah.
That's correct. Okay, we're on the same page now.
Okay, we're
You know,
back.
when I hear a term, I don't want to just think in a very limited way, like you're in remote viewing, oh, you can only see. Oh. You know, I don't want to do that. I want to.
I'm screwed because that's not how it happens, so.
You're screwed.
I got the wrong way.
For the audience, I don't want everyone out there that uses the wrong term, inaccurate terminology to think that they are being told they're wrong, because they're not being told they're wrong. They're just are unaware of what it's actually supposed to be called.
Yeah. And see, if they use their logical mind, they can figure that out. Because if they had done remote viewing and they have heard their father and seen him, they know that remote viewing isn't the correct terminology. Yeah. And interestingly, because it was Ingo Swann that actually named that, and he's very famous, so.
Swan?
Ingo Swann. Yeah.
So we have part two, because the first one we lost video and I have no idea what happened. So I ended it, it wouldn't end. I tried 5 times and then all of a sudden it just stopped. So I started part two. That whole discussion didn't make it.
Good.
Oh, let's do it again.
You're the new guy.
I know,
2:37.
daggers, man.
You said you're
I'm
going
just
to
trying to
sit
put
and
folks on,
listen.
that's all I'm doing.
No.
I'm not here for a long time, but just for a good time.
No, this is a discussion, Bill. This is, you know.
This is what happens.
You guys have been very quiet,
We are
Nancy and Sue.
expecting everyone to listen.
Speaking of that,
By choice.
They don't like all the noise.
Right.
I
Right.
can put this down here. It'll be easier for me to do it.
Can we
now that I'm
discuss
plugged in.
anything about what we can expect on Saturday? I've heard people have already reserved slots for appointments.
Yeah, I was gonna have you talk a little bit right at the end.
Sure.
After we get through with the group, that has nothing to do with the group.
Okay, so we're going to go
Yeah, go to
this
your
way.
She looks much better on camera.
So, years ago, it was referred to as traveling clairvoyance, which again is clairvoyance, seeing, you know. It was referred to as spirit travel. I used to call it mind travel because that's what it felt like to me. It's like my mind went somewhere, got information, and so on. And now it's called remote viewing. And it's all the same thing. Now, some people who remote view have told me that they actually leave their body and some part of them travels to wherever. Other people tell me, and I found this to be true in most instances for me, it's as if, in quotes, as if the place comes to me. In other words, I'm seeing it, I'm hearing sounds, you know, I have a feeling about it, etc., but I don't have any feeling of going anywhere. It's rather, I'm recognizing I'm sitting in this chair and it's coming to me as if it's coming to me. While many people say they actually feel themselves leave their body and travel there, like in Robert Monroe's book, Journeys Out of the Body, and many other books like that.
And that's where that girl said that she felt herself leave her body and go to California.
Yeah, see, that's an actual astral projection.
That's what I do. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I still see myself
Yeah.
at home, but I literally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I did that when I was babysitting a teenager. I had fallen asleep because she was out late, the parent, and child was in bed, safe and everything. I fell asleep on the couch. And I astral projected out because I kept hearing this knocking and knocking and knocking. So I went over to the door and I could see like through the door. I had walked over there and I knew it was her. And so then I came back, laid back down inside of me, woke up and went and answered the door.
Well, that's what I think my son used to do when he was younger. He wet the bed. And I think what he would do is, in fact, you saw that one time. Do you remember?
Yeah.
She woke up and she saw Dean's, she thought it was him in the doorway heading toward the bathroom, but he was still in his bed. And so some part of him was going to the bathroom, but not the part.
Right, they should have left the
Physical.
bed.
Yeah.
Wow.
So some people, when you astral project, remote view, whatever you want to call it, do it, the person at the other end, like your friend there, acknowledged that he saw her.
After the third time, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes that person who sees, like, maybe he, like some people do, would see her and think she died. Because, so many times when people die, they go and visit whoever they love, etc. And so he might have, if he was into this stuff, he might have thought she died, when actually, it was her spirit or whatever you want to call it. And of course, there's a debate over what part of you leaves and goes. What part of you does that? How do you feel? What part of you goes?
Like,
Wouldn't it be your whole
don't see
being?
my feet or anything, it's more like here up.
You're up
That's just what I
subconscious.
see.
So what here up?
What part of your being?
Yeah.
No, like, physical part from here to here. But I quit doing it because I got into, there was dark forces and I had to quit that. I had to teach myself to quit going because there was too many, I don't know if they were parallel universe. I don't know what they were, but they're out there and they know how to.
You didn't like them to come back?
No, but I just knew it was time to quit doing that.
Because some people say it's the etheric double that leaves, that whole layer of your aura leaves. And other people say it's just the energy from your brain. There's a lot of theories out there. In fact, most of the things that you hear in this field are nothing more than theories. They actually haven't been proven scientifically. If you ask someone an opinion, that's just it. That's their opinion. That's their theory of how it works. Like when I give readings, I can see and I can feel my aura connecting with the person I'm reading for. And the first point of connection is in the upper arms and in the chest area, and then the whole aura connects to that person. And then, because the aura contains a sum total of everything you are in a frequency form, those frequencies, what I believe is through the parasympathetic nervous system, come to you and then are transformed into pictures, clairvoyance, feelings, clairsentience, hearing, clairaudience, etc. And that's what a psychic then gives you the information about. But that's only a theory, because that's what I observe happening. I can see it and I can feel it, but it's still a theory because it hasn't been proven scientifically. So most of the things you'll hear in this field are theories and nothing more.
That's like the gal that told me the story. She told me that it was like in the movies when you see somebody's spirit leaving their body when they die.
Yeah.
She said she saw herself doing that, which I assumed was because she saw it on TV.
Oh.
And that's how she connected with it. But then she said she was going through space. And I said, what do you mean going through space? And she said the same thing you said, that it was like this part of her and the rest was like just a shadow or a trail.
Yeah.
And that but she was only there from seeing that until she was with her father.
Yeah.
There was no travel time, per se.
And I could see people's golden cords, that you do when people are in sleep state, and they have the golden cord.
Yeah.
And I used to see people's golden cords as I was going too. But like she was talking about with your friend, I would be using my hands on wherever I went.
Yeah.
And again, it was just that feeling from here to here where I would be this. I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
I never saw a silver or a gold cord. I never did when I was out. Because I had 2 astral projection wires actually out of my body. The wrist was mind trailing. But I never saw a cord on me or others.
But I've heard of it. I've heard
Yeah.
other people talk about it.
Yeah, in fact, I think Edgar Casey
Yeah.
talks about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
I don't hear too many people talk.
Elaine, Elaine Lamb, do you remember her? She's used to be in metaphysics, and she's passed on now. And there was one time during a meeting that she was across the room, and I looked and I thought I saw a silver cord
Oh.
that went up through the roof on her.
And now
But
where
that
was
was the
it
only
attached to
time.
her?
It was attached right here.
Oh, the top of her head.
Yeah.
Because I think in his book, Robert Monroe's book, he talked about it being attached in the solar plexus. Yeah,
Oh,
if I remember correctly. It's been a while, but I think
interesting.
so.
The inside in the solar plexus and coming up, or were they kind of drawn by the,
No, like this.
like that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's what he says in his original book. Yeah.
Well, I know where to look now.
Yeah.
It's off the top of the head and from the chest.
Now, see,
Never
that's where I
dawned on
left.
me from the
That's where I
chest.
left my body. It's like I spun out the top of my
Oh,
head.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I don't remember, I just was there, and then and in my mind, the me that was walking to the door was the real me, I just didn't say, oh, because I didn't turn to look, I just popped out and went to the door, so I was aware of me walking to the door, not going, oh, there's me laying on the couch.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so there was no awareness of the physical body.
Yeah.
I was it, I guess, because that's the consciousness.
Right.
I don't know what to call this, so you tell me. Had a lady who desperately needed to do have a healing done on her. And I was asked by the family to please help her out. But she was so skeptical, she wouldn't let me in. And she wanted it, but and if somebody with the healing especially, if they're not participating, if they're not believing, it just doesn't get the same results, in my opinion. And so anyways, I told her, I said, sit down in your favorite chair. And so she did, and I said, okay, now just listen. I described her carpeting. I described across the room from her where the throw was over the furniture and all this stuff. And she says to me, she said, okay. That's it, okay. I said, okay, at this time, I want you to sit in that chair and I want you to just relax and I'm gonna work from here. Well, how does that work? And I said, it just does. I just put myself with you and I just work on it. And I said, it's all energy. I said to her, it's all energy. So I'm just sharing energy from far away. And it worked out very well for her. But how do you explain, like, what do you call that when you're doing a remote healing? But me knowing what was going on in her house, the description of her house. I mean, does anybody else experience stuff like that?
Okay, I can tell you.
Look at you. Her eyes are all
Well, I can
teary.
tell you because of my machine, and people say, there's no way. How does this work? I said, pick up your cell phone. Pick up your cell phone and push my name. And what's going to happen? You're going to call me. I'm going to pick up my phone and say hello, and I'm going to be connected with you. It's no different. It's energy.
Right.
All of this is all energy
That's what
bound.
it is, yeah. Yeah.
That's a very
But what
good
did you call
analogy
it?
to
Like
show
the
people.
different things. We're talking about the senses and the clairs.
Well, you saw,
Right.
so that was clairvoyance,
Clairvoyance.
clear seeing. What else?
I saw it. I could pretty much seeing it. is what I did.
So it was mostly clairvoyance.
Yeah.
But you told her to sit in was it a certain chair?
Yeah, I told her to sit in that chair, and she was kind of blown away that I knew what the chair was and where it was. And that started it.
And
then
is
I
it
just went-
because you saw the chair? Now, was that a favorite chair of hers, or?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a favorite.
Absolutely.
So it might have been feeling
It's
too.
where she sat all the time.
Senses, yeah.
I knew that was her chair.
Okay, so you knew.
Yeah.
That's intuition.
So it's just a combination of the different
Yes,
things.
right.
Okay.
Which is why everybody calls everything psychic.
Okay,
Yes,
Vicky,
yes.
you're
We're
right.
back to
they
the
do.
very beginning again, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And we bring in our experiences in life and how we were raised and what the people that, if we started this early in life, then it's all the changes of terminology through the years and trying to keep up with it. And it's also like we're talking to you, well, now that's in all of our heads. So now I don't know about you guys, but I'll be on the internet when I get home because I want to look and see what they're saying about it, and then I'll figure out how I want to interpret what they're doing.
I'd like to go back to the healing piece. Did she
Okay.
get healed?
Yeah, it worked very nicely.
You've heard me talk about, I don't know what the technical name is, but in everyday language, it's called the mind mirror. And what they did was, let's say you're the healer and he's the healee. You're going to heal him. You're going to work on healing him. So they attach you to a machine that measures brain waves on both sides of your brain, and a machine that measures on both sides of your brain. So as you begin to go into the healing mode, the brain wave on both sides of your brain is different, the left and the right.
Mhm.
So
makes
what
sense.
begins to happen is it begins to harmonize. Your brain does. It begins to harmonize so that now it's the same on the left and the right. Then within 15 minutes, then his brain waves begin to change and his becomes synchronized on both sides of his brain. And within 15 minutes, his brain waves will become the same as yours. And if that happens, a healing occurs. If that doesn't happen, a healing does not occur.
Makes
And
sense to
so
me.
there's an unconscious participation of the person being healed. Even if they say they don't believe it,
Yeah.
they don't have to believe it if unconsciously they do, because then they participate and their brain waves change and they become healed.
I hear what you're saying.
What do you call it? I was in one of your classes many, many years ago, and there was a gal there. I think she might have been from Sarasota, someplace else. Never met her. She was sitting next to me, and you were having us do exercises, different things. And what I saw this man, an older gentleman, and I asked her, I said, does this make any sense to you? And I described this gentleman and what he looked like and what he had on. And she said, oh my God, that's my father. I was just thinking of him. Well, so what was that? What did I do?
Well, it was a form of telepathy. And see, she was thinking of him. And when we think of things, but in this case, she was thinking of her father, so let's use that. She's thinking of her father, so it forms a thought form. And by telepathy, because you were reading her mind, because she was thinking about him, so it was telepathy.
But I really wasn't trying to, other than the fact
One
that she
doesn't
was
have to
right
try
next to me.
Yeah, you don't have, the more relaxed you are usually, and the less you try, the better it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
That's
her
true.
response was, oh my goodness, I've never been to any of these classes, but I definitely am coming back.
She was impressed.
It's usually something that we can't explain and something that happens to us, like someone else knows and the person can't explain it, then they start to look into why that happened.
Right.
Especially analytical people, they want to explain it. They want to know. And now it's kind of cool because there's been so many studies. So those people that are analytical, that are, more technical minded and such, they tend to go and check it out. This doesn't make sense, so why is it happening?
Oh, I
And
love
then
the
they start-
skeptics, because
oh.
they fall the hardest.
Yeah, it's great.
I love them.
It's like they fall so hard they go through the floor.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm particularly good with engineers.
and then they push, oh yeah, you said,
Yeah, in DuPont,
yeah,
we worked for the engineering department. And when we first went in to present and have them hire us or not, et cetera, they were rude and they were not very nice.
they were forced to be there.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right, yeah. Mark Soon made them. Anyway, they became such believers because I took them through experiences that they had the experience. I wasn't talking about my experience or your experience. They were having an experience of psychic. That's how they fall. Yeah, it was fun.
Can't explain it. So how do you explain it? You know what I'm saying? That's how they start thinking is, gotta explain this.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
And they
I
will,
like the term open.
uh,
Instead of using psychic, instead of using any of the terminology, I just like the term open yourself.
yeah,
Be open to anything, any thoughts, any kind of things
Anything
that
of
come
what,
your
like-
way and question what they are.
yeah,
Because that covers everything, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah, very true.
But not everything,
Well,
only
see,
those things of white light is
where
mine.
we ran into
Well,
some
yeah.
problems was with people when we said be open, and we gave them at that time a cassette tape of a meditation I did. I forgot what I called it, something about your inner mentor, and they gave me there's certain men that gave me the tape back and said I'm a Christian, and the only mentor I have is Jesus, and I can't meditate. I don't want to meditate because that allows time for the entities to get in, and so they wouldn't participate.
but if you open yourself, Jesus can come in clearer too.
Yeah, but you know
If
that
that's the
their
one you're gonna
thought
hear
is the
from.
evil ones are gonna come in. That's what they think of first. I don't
You
understand
just-
that.
I
but-
don't either, because
Yeah.
I just deny any of that
Yeah.
crap ever coming.
Yeah, but they feel there's a demon behind every chair, you know what I mean? So you just have to deal
And
with it.
that's
Sorry.
what their religion has
Sorry.
told them.
Right.
Did you lose my
Yeah,
gun?
you
You
doing
lost
it
weight?
to
No, I'm
you.
doing it. I'm trying to, my back
You're
here.
evil, you're
Yeah,
of the
I'm
devil,
pushing
you're, it's like, like you've said to me many times, I've been kicked out of better places.
That's right.
You know?
Hey, I got kicked out of the Blind Association. How many people can?
Too funny.
Okay, so
We
let's
are
address
at 3 o'clock here.
Akashic records.
Akashic Records?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Okay.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock,
I've heard-
Vicky, if you want to talk
Oh.
about the fair.
Okay, well, just for your information, I've heard two sides.
Okay.
One is that only the person can get into them. And another one is that there's people that have ability to be able to read your
So
record.
then he
Let's
would
state
deny
what
that
the
Edgar
Akashic
Casey
rec-
got into.
Let's state what the Akashic records are first, because some people might
Then
not
he
know
would
what it
deny
is.
that Edgar Casey got into the Akashic Records.
Oh, because he did, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then that's that side.
Yeah, now,
So the ones that
going back
say,
to what Marina said, which is where I was gonna go to.
Yeah.
What are the Akashic Records? See,
It's-
I wonder, and it's
book
a
of
wonder.
life, right?
I wonder if your Akashic record isn't your aura, because your aura contains a frequency of everything that has ever happened to you. You know, there's the different layers of the aura, the emotional, the da, et cetera. Your aura contains a frequency of everything that's ever happened to you, including past lives. So if that's true, then that's your Akashic record.
Well, I've been there. I was there before I knew what they were. So, but that's another time because it's 3 o'clock, so we'll talk about
Yeah,
it later.
well, maybe we'll cover it next time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to have, over here, Vicky is,
You don't have
Sally's
to
not
see
here.
me.
Well, they might want to see
Sally's
us.
tutoring.
Sally's not
She
here,
had an
so.
appointment this morning,
Okay.
and then she had to go tutoring, and that's
Okay,
why
so
she
it's gonna
didn't
fall
go.
in your lap here. We are located right now in Sun City Center, Florida. That's where we are streaming this from. And this is our group, metaphysical group. We meet once a month, first Thursday of each month from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock Eastern time. Anyone from around the globe can tune in and participate. And, so ask questions, share their information. This is a learning group, and we share with each other, learn from one another about information and our experiences. That said, in Sun City Center is a metaphysical group also that meets once a week, Wednesdays, and they occasionally were having, on Sundays.
Sundays
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Twice
Sundays too,
now.
yeah. And they are having a metaphysical fair this Saturday from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock
That's correct.
at Eastern time. So Vicki, go ahead and tell a little bit about the fair and what's going on there.
Okay,
It's a fundraiser.
okay. What would you like me to tell them? We're having the fair. There's bid items, silent auction. There's tons of stuff on there that's really worthy. There's local authors, including you and your mother, that have signed their books, and those are on a raffle, $1 a piece for a raffle drawing. And I think it's not against the law, is it? Everybody does it, whatever. If it's against the law, forget what I said. We're having a drawing.
We'll take them, we'll do it.
Anyway, so there's a table, there's, I think, 25 authors so far that have books, and their ticket number will be drawn for the winner, whoever wins it. And there's also going to be a way to purchase it if you don't win. So
And where
that
is it?
information will be there.
Readers?
It's going to be at the Sun City Center Community Association Atrium Building. It's the main campus of Sun City Center, and it's at the north end off of North Pebble Beach. You'll go down to North Course Lane and take a right, which is the only way you can go unless you want to visit the people next door. And so you're going to go to the right, and you're going to go to the end parking lot, and the Armstrong room entrance is off of the parking lot. So you don't have to enter the building. You're just going to go right into the room.
Is there a fee?
There is absolutely no fee. We have our fairs free to everyone. Anyone can come.
Free entry.
There's going to be gemstones that supposedly have healing properties. There's tons and tons of bracelets. We've got probably 150 different bracelets made up, and they're all have healing properties according to society. I'm not going to say that, whatever.
Are there about
But
400
there's magnets
books
and stuff. There's over 400 books
for sale?
that are either new or slightly used, excellent condition, and the majority of them are $1 a piece. These are, I'm talking hard copy and whatever.
How many psychics?
Yeah, tons
There
of
is
readers.
going to be
Readers.
12 different readers. We have, let me see if I can remember, there's a psychic, a numerologist, a psychic, a all-knowing person,
God's
a psychometry, which is taking an item from the person and doing a reading based on the item.
Is there going to be tarot or palmistry?
Just a minute, I'm getting there. I got to go around the room in the right order, I'll forget. Okay, so then we have the Akashic records.
Oh, you have
Which,
claircognizance before that. Do you want the actual
Yes.
list?
No, that's okay, I'm almost done. At Akashic record reader, a divine reader, which this gal is certified and licensed or something through this Divine Institute. So I'm not quite sure, but I think it's kind of a connection, psychic connection type thing that is called divine reading. And then there's tarot and angel cards, and also a person that uses dice to answer your questions and tell your past, present, and future. So those are the readers. We
How
have
much
three
are the readings?
speakers. The readers are $20 for 20 minutes.
And
And
that goes to
you'll
the club, right?
You get, yes, all the proceeds, absolutely every single dime goes to the Metaphysical Society. Everybody has donated their time, their energy, and their products to make this happen.
And that price
But
is an
the-
excellent price in today's world.
20 for 20, it's
Usually 40
absolutely,
now.
yes.
40.
And that's like, you can't buy a $25 book for a
That's
buck anywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
You
but I mean,
know,
readers
or
at the
we've
shows.
got, one of the things on the bid table is a trilogy that this gal wrote. And I haven't ever read it, so I can't tell you much about it, except it's all metaphysical. And that's on there. There's also a machine that's computerized that you hook up to your body, and it will stimulate. It's kind of like a TENS machine, only super upgraded. It's all computerized, and it'll go anywhere in your body. That's on the bid table. It's about, I think it was $170 or $180 machine.
Wow.
And so there'll be bids taken. Whoever has the highest bid will receive that. There's lectures. We have 3 lectures at 11 o'clock, and these are totally open to the public. You don't even have to come to the Metaphysical Fair to see them. If you just want to hear about the topics, you go to the Sandpiper Room inside the Atrium building, and anyone that's familiar with that knows it's right down from CC's Grill or next door to the Florida Room, if they've ever been in the campus area. 11 o'clock, we'll have a presentation on UFOs and aliens and things that are going on around the world right now. 1 o'clock, we have our own Carol Ann, which if you're listening to this, you might want to come here. She's going to be telling you how you can know about yourself and other people and your moods by
And
the
your
way,
psychic abilities.
and your psychic abilities by the way you handwrite things, your loops, your crosses, your dots, that kind of thing. And then at 2:30, our president, Ken, always felt like he didn't belong. And he asked his mother several times during his life who his real father was. And she said, your father's your father. Well, at 71 years
Don't
old,
give it away.
they found out that
Don't give
he
it away.
had
Don't
been.
give it away.
Don't give it
Well,
away.
it's in the
Don't
title.
do it.
It's
Don't go
in
there.
the
No,
title.
no,
He
it isn't the
was
title.
switched at birth. The story
Blah, blah, blah.
about what happened when he found out he was switched at birth is the interesting part. And he's got all kinds of photos and stuff to show you the differences, and it's going to be very, very interesting. It's worth hearing his story, and it probably should be on one of the national TV things because it's that interesting. And that'll be at 2:30.
Sound bowls?
There is a sound bowl that will be present.
Crystal
Right
bowl,
now,
or whatever you wanna call it.
Where we thought we was gonna have the sound bowl is not working. So now the sound bowl will only be available in the Sandpiper Room before the 11 o'clock. So 10:30 will be the very last sound bowl experience. And that's really something because you put your feet into this bowl and with socks or those slippy things on, whatever. And this guy will play the sound bowl and it vibrates. Even if your feet are not the one in the bowl, It vibrates through your whole being. It will balance your chi
I
and
gotta
your
do that.
chakras. It's an awesome experience. So even if you don't get an appointment for it, you will get the benefit from the sound. So anyway, come on down,
Now,
9 to 4.
is that little cafe open for food?
The little cafe will be open so that
Great.
people attending could go grab a sandwich or something. They have
That's good.
delicious food. Very, everything's fresh made and it's good food at CC's. CC's Grill.
And I'm
Yeah.
donating.
Okay.
Can you reserve a spot for some of these now?
Well, we have been taking reservations, like Carol Ann is booked up for all her readings. And Donna Spoon, who has donated some phone readings, is all booked up. Everybody else has openings, and I cut off the actual accepting money and making appointments yesterday so that I could balance out that money to turn over to the treasurer. But be there at 9 o'clock in the morning, you'll have your choice,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
And I'm
So-
donating bread.
You are donating bread?
Yes, I've got it in the freezer. I
I
made,
want some too.
I've got 2 big,
You can get it
good
past
sized
me,
loaves
that
of the.
is.
I have extra bread at our place. 2 sourdough loaves made from with my sourdough starter and
That's sourdough
Smaller-
bread.
smaller
Right.
bread,
Because it's got all
loaves
the-
and semolina rolls, semolina loaves.
That's what I want. I want some semolina.
Okay,
Wonderful bread.
all right, so I've
I
got.
took it home and had some. It's wonderful bread.
So
I've got
it's
4
in the
smaller
glass.
semolina loaves that are longer. I've
Okay.
got 4
Mother, is that what
round,
they call it?
Yeah.
of the whole wheat, 2 of the sourdough, and I'm also gonna make some brownies.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, and just so people know, watch for the signs. It'll say Metaphysical Fair with an arrow
Good.
down off of 674, which is the main road through town. So you'll be able to find us for sure.
Just follow the crowd.
Follow the crowd because we have a lot of them
Tune
in
in.
town.
And you can find it.
Yes.
And if you ever attended prior to COVID, if you ever attended the fairs at the Chamber of Commerce here in Sun City Center, that is us. So we'll see you Saturday.
Okay, with that, we're gonna
Okay.
end the video
Thank
here, and tune in next
Thanks for having
month,
me.
first Thursday.
It's
of
a,
each
it's a
month
little
at
over
1
my
o'clock.
head. I'm gonna have to digest it, my own time. But wow. All right. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you all. Thank
Most
you.
people get like a 10-minute little segment